Wizz Air, Europe's third largest airline, over 200 aircraft and set to double in the next 5 years. Should you be considering them? Let's find out. Yes, here we are at Bratislava airport. They've just called our flight, which means we now need to go through immigration passport control and get on board. Taking you back an hour or so, we arrived at Bratislava airport via taxi, only £7 or €8 from the city centre. It's a small airport and Wizz Air take up maybe 20–25% of the check-in space over here. We'll talk through fare types later, but check-in opens online up to 30 days before the flight, and Wizz Air will charge you up to £40 if you need to check in at these airport counters. Upstairs, through security, and I'm pleased to say it's all next-gen scanners, so no need to empty the bags. Our flight's closing, so we'd best hurry up. A quick one from me, YouTube thinks that 98% of you watching right now are not subscribed, so don't forget, double check and please hit that subscribe button for many more videos this year. Thank you. So, boarding always fills me with nerves on Wizz Air. Their baggage policy is pretty tight, so let's take a look. First up, as with many low-cost carriers, you'll be split into two groups, Priority and Other. Wizz Priority, as with Ryanair's similar product, comes with what you and I would probably call a carry-on suitcase, and on this flight that'll set you back €35.80. You should also be able to get on the aircraft first, but in reality that seldom seems to happen. I think Wizz Air use the two lines to make it easy to see who's paid for the cabin bag and who hasn't, and then they can charge you for it. We're in with the other passenger queue today, which means we're cheap, and the cheapness only allows us to carry a small rucksack or similar on board, the size of which is on screen now. And it's supposed to fit under the seat in front of you, along with your feet and maybe your coat, apparently. Here's our stunning A321Neo, and we're wasting no time today, so let's get on board. Wizz tend to use steps rather than air bridges. Great if you enjoy the smell of jet fuel, not so great if you'd rather stay warm. Golf Whiskey Uniform Kilo Yankee today, delivered factory fresh in October 2023 to Wizz Air UK. Ah yes, I said Wizz Air UK there. So Wizz, it turns out, have 4 operating certificates. Wizz Hungary, the OG if you like, Wizz Air Malta, Wizz Air UK and Wizz Air Abu Dhabi. Wizz Hungary and Malta have around 80 aircraft apiece, with the UK around 20 and Abu Dhabi 10 to 15. The total fleet then offers up over 200 aircraft, over half of those are next-gen A321Neos like we're on today. In total, over 300 321Neos and XLRs are on order with Wizz and Airbus to be delivered in the next 5 years, and that'll more than double their fleet by 2030. That's some going. The 321 XLRs will start to join later this year, 2025, and as far as I know, they'll be in the same configuration as this aircraft, 239 seats. This is a tight aircraft for flights in excess of 7 to 8 hours. Right now, this means Wizz Air will fly you as far east as Iceland, as far west as Kazakhstan, as far north as Norway and as far south as the Maldives. Jeez. Okay, on board, and if you're offended by the bright yellow and blue of Ryanair, just wait till you see the purple and pink of Wizz Air. And yes, you really can explore the aircraft on Google Maps. I'll whack a link in the description, but what a great feature. First impressions? Well, it's tight, as expected. You want to avoid this very last row here, there's no window. We're in 27E and F, and this is our view outside. We're just in front of the exit row, and this is also where the crew sit to monitor and assist with evacuations, etc. We'll explore the cabin and the seat more once we're in the air. Pushback was early, and how about that? Unfortunately, we needed some de-icer, it's pretty cold outside, so we're dragged across the tarmac for that to happen.
So that we can get a bit of de-icing done on the wings.
Note, there's no aircon, which is pretty standard, whilst this is happening. So after 10 minutes, it does get quite warm. Before long though, the de-icing was complete, our engines were started, and we're on our way. Taking off on runway 04. The buy on board menu is fairly comprehensive. It even has country-specific specialities depending on your origin or destination. If you want a soft drink, that's €3.70 or £3.50. A meal deal somewhere between 10 and 13, or 2 beers for 10. If you really want to treat yourself, you can skip into the perfume section, where prices can represent value versus the high street. This Hugo Boss Orange Man, for example, €40 or £36 on Wizz Air, and it's between £36 and £45 on the high street. So comparable there, although I have seen it cheaper online. Let's take a look at the fit out and the seat now. The front 17 rows features seats all at a 28-inch seat pitch. That's the space in between your headrest and the one in front. They're all spaced out equally. Obviously row 1 has some more room due to it being an exit row. You then have the overwing exits, rows 18 and 19, again with a bit of room there. Now here's where you need to be smart. In the next section, A, B and C get a little bit tighter, 27.7 inches of pitch, whereas D, E and F on the right hand side, well, they retain the full 28 inches that we see at the front. You can see from this image that as row 28 sits a little bit further back on the right hand side versus the left. We're in row 27, and here's something that you might not notice. 27F, where I'm sitting, actually feels narrower versus the seat in front. I can't find anything to substantiate it, other than my eyes and this patchy video. But a watch out for you nonetheless. The rest of the aircraft comes in the same 28-inch seat pitch, but a reminder, watch out for that row 40 at the back with no window. Onto the seat then, and well, nothing new overhead, which is actually a tad frustrating. See, this is the standard A320 family fit out, if you like, and not Airbus's new airspace cabin. Wizz Air could have gone with this one, the enhanced option, which features larger overhead lockers, that you know may have been useful for their 239 seats. Here's an example of the airspace cabin that BA have chosen to go with, and their aircraft have way less seats. The seat does have a coat hook, which is nice, but rather than the space at the top of the seat being used for literature, or heaven forbid a phone holder, Wizz have chosen to install this angled piece of plastic, meaning that the space is useless. There's a small functional table. The floor space is clear, and the armrests do fully retract. Oh, and there's a safety card in the pocket, eating into your precious legroom space. But that's it. No headrest, no power, no recline, and yes, this is the configuration that now flies between Europe and the Middle East. And as I said, to my knowledge, this is also the seating configuration and seats that their XLRs will use too, which can fly up to 12 hours. Now that is a brave person. Let me know if you're going to try it, or if you think I should try it out on a long haul flight. I will note, I don't expect Wizz to fly these for 12 hours given how dense they are, maybe 9 hours tops. We're approaching 2/3 of the way through our flight to London, so let's go and check out the loo. So there's 3 toilets on board. Each one is then shared between, 80 people plus crew, and this one here was broken. So that's only 2 loos between everyone. Ouch. The aircraft's only 1 year old, and it feels a bit battered. I guess that's no surprise given Wizz keep their aircraft in the air for 12.5 hours a day, an average of 5.1 flights every day, I'll have you know. Ah, look, there's no toilet roll. Plenty of sick bags though, and don't forget to wash your hands, especially if there's no toilet roll. Let's talk about fare types then, and what did I pay as we gear down for the approach and landing into Luton. There's 4 types of fare that you can choose from: basic, quick travel, pack and save, all in and full flex, otherwise known as basic, smart, go and plus. You can see on the screen the major differences, but for me on a weekend trip, the basic makes sense. I don't really mind when I check in, within 24 hours is absolutely fine, and I bought a reserved seat anyway, so more than I could sit together. Doing that immediately unlocks check-in up to 30 days in advance anyway, so that's cool. That cost us €9 for the seats, and given I'm cool with a rucksack and I have no desire to get on board first, that's a good bit cheaper than the Wizz Smart price. There may be merit in Wizz Go if you need to check a bag in, but a 20 kilo bag on its own is €22 on this route, so again, maybe it doesn't represent value and you might be better to build your own package rather than these pre-selected options. I also bought a membership to the Wizz Discount Club for €40, which paid for itself for the discounts that we got on this return trip for 2 of us. Effectively, we're quids in for the rest of the year on any other Wizz Air flights that we take. Discount Club gets you up to £10 off a flight, and a discount on baggage, so it's handy. And for us, we're planning to try out some of those Balkan countries this year, and Wizz has a pretty strong route network to those states. In total, we paid €27 each for the flight, plus €9 each for the seat. So there we go, that's Wizz Air in 2025. Will you fly them? Have you flown them already? Let me know down in the comments. Until next time though, if you enjoyed this, a thumbs up goes a long way to help other people find the video, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.